Thank you very much. I thought it was very telling that Mr. Knight said that, yes, going after bank records would be inappropriate, except in a criminal investigation. Ooh, criminal investigation. That's what the FBI was doing, was involved in a criminal investigation.
With a warrant, he's for it.
No, not with a warrant. It's not necessary to have a warrant. Go back to criminal procedure. You don't always need a warrant when you have voluntary authorization. And everyone who opens a bank account is told when they open their bank account that the information may be disclosed to law enforcement. Now, if we want to change that rule in the consumer protection laws, then we need to do that. But until that, they have a reasonable expectation that law enforcement may disclose that information. Because once you are banking with a banking institution, that information in that record belongs to the banking institution. It doesn't solely belong to you anymore when you are using a bank in that banking institution and they have given disclosure. Now, if we want to make it an affirmative disclosure where an individual has to specifically check off the box that allows them to be aware of it when they're opening a bank, then that's something else. But you do not need a warrant. You can have voluntary disclosure because under our law presently, the banks have possession and ownership of that information. Now, the other thing that I think you have talked about is, are we worried about that? That this is only gonna happen to the, on conservatives? No, I'm also concerned if the FBI were to do overreach. I am concerned with that. And I do understand that this is something that law enforcement does and that we need to be careful about what they do. I just find it very interesting that you all are, my colleagues, one of our witnesses, Mr. Fanon, is not a colleague of ours and is giving his opinion as a law enforcement officer. Sir, was there something else that you wanted to add?
Within the context of this particular investigation, one of the reasons why I believe that the FBI would have sought voluntary compliance as opposed to applying for a warrant is the sheer magnitude of the event. You had literally thousands of people who participated on the attack on the Capitol on January 6th. And in an abundance of caution and really the responsibility of the FBI and those other investigating agencies is to ensure that that violence does not occur again at our inauguration, which was only about 2 weeks after that. And so I think it wholly appropriate, as you just said, it's completely within our capabilities as law enforcement agencies to seek voluntary compliance from these institutions to investigate criminal acts or potential criminal acts.
Thank you. So there was an imminent threat on the American people, on the homeland, that being individuals who said they were going to come back and finish the job that they had started on January 6th to try and stop the placement of Joe Biden as President of the United States. Now, there's a lot of things we could have hearings on. Mr. Chair, you have not sat down with me at any point in time like we do in other committees and talk about what are the things that we can agree on, that we want to. You came to my office one time and we had a discussion and I gave you a list of things that I would like to have a hearing on. You completely ignored me in that. Your team doesn't even give us testimony until the very last minute that they have to. You do not even let us know the subjects of hearings. Sometimes I find out about what we're gonna hearing is gonna be on Twitter. You're not operating as a fair dealer in this, so don't try that here in front of everybody. Well, I am concerned about things. I'm concerned about what will happen if Donald Trump does get reelected. Because on November 9th, 2023, in a Univision interview, he said, if I happen to be president and I see somebody who's doing well and beating me very badly, I say go down and indict them. They would be out of business. They'd be out of the election. On November 11th in 2023 at a Veterans Day rally, I can't believe he was at a Veterans Day rally after what he says about those of our men and women in uniform. He said, we pledge to you that we will root out the communists, Marxists, fascists, and radical left thugs that live like vermin within the confines of our country, that lie and steal and cheat on elections. He seems to be a threat to the first, the fourth, a whole bunch of amendments, but you're not going to try and have a hearing on him in this weaponization of the federal government, which we know that Donald Trump is going to use for his own dictatorial, narcissistic, failing in business, failing in presidency, failing in life self.
Gentlelady yields back.